Hi, folks, and welcome back to In the Studio with me, your host, El Guapo. And so I'm here. I am drawing, and you can see that I'm using like all these straight lines. I find that that's the most accurate way to get the drawing done. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on the mood that I am, but sometimes also the reference is easier to hold on to. Some of the reference has more of the angular lines that you can recreate. I also use this forever pencil. I don't know if you saw it, and it didn't really last forever. It just lasted for like 3 drawings. I did a whole little video on that. You can find it somewhere. Then, and I just threw it out. But this particular reference had a good amount of darks that I was able to hold on to. So I just went in there first, setting up the halftones, setting up the light area. Then I'm gonna go back in there and smooth some things out. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I leave the brush stroke more short, and sometimes it's a little bit long, depending on how much time I have. I don't know. There's a whole, set of differences why I do the things that I do. I don't know. And the thing is, at this point in the 120 paintings that I've done for this set of series, for these series, I'm still trying to figure things out. And what I mean by that is yes, okay, I've been painting for years, but each particular set of skills comes with a particular set of problems, right? A particular set of skills that I'm trying to figure out. So these portraits that I've been doing come with different reference, and I'm trying to make it look like the person. I'm trying to use a little bit of color from the reference, and I'm trying to use a little bit of color not from my imagination, but from accumulated knowledge. Sorry. So all those things have to be put together, and they're put together in your head. And most of the time you don't really think about it. And I think, I spoke about this in the last video. I mean, you do and you don't. It's kind of what's happening. And I do notice from time to time, your brain stops off and it stops being on automatic mode. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I have to go back and do this and fix that, And I think that's why our teachers always tell you to stand back and look at your painting. Take a break and look at the whole thing, because otherwise you get lost in the details, and you're 3 inches away from it, and you need to look at everything. I call this breaking the eye, and which is what I called my online classes, and I'm potentially my book, which I will probably never write, but if I do, that's what it will be called, breaking the eye. So but take a step back, take a bigger look at the painting, then go back in there and trying to mimic some of the color for that particular person. Ultimately, I think the color is arbitrary, because you can really choose any color as long as the value structure holds. You can paint the person green, you can paint them yellow. It doesn't really matter. It will look like the person as long as your value structure is there. So adding the coloring, the specific coloring of that person is kind of just like an added bonus to making it look like the sitter. So anyway, you can always exaggerate. And so here you can see I exaggerated some of the ruddiness of the nose, some of the cheek area, I didn't just went back and painted some of the hair, which I really enjoy. I enjoy painting hair. I don't know why. I think there's a trick to it, and it's not really. It's I like calling it a trick, but it's like a set of techniques that you tend to use over and over, that are successful. And so that's why I call them tricks, because I'm relying on prior knowledge that I know is going to be successful, and not so much an observation. But yeah, and sometimes they take me a little bit longer. As you can see, the drawing is a little bit off. It looks like it's she looks like she's turning more towards us than the reference. Yeah, that's what I ended up with. This is what I got, and this is how it came out. I really like the way it came out, and I'm not like doing a whole explanation on all the paintings that I've done. You can take a look at my social media accounts for that. But I don't think this one got a lot of attention, but I like it, and I think that's ultimately important to paint for you. I read that somewhere, like, don't paint for an audience, paint for yourself. And I think that's today's advice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Follow, like, and as always, take it easy.